I think kicking off this particular episode, what we want to talk through is growth capital. And what is growth capital? What should you be thinking about and thinking through when you're looking to find growth capital? So super important to understand is just the market and the fact that only about 9% of SMEs can access capital from traditional banks. So, less than 10% of businesses in South Africa are able to access the capital that they need from a traditional bank. So, kind of what options does that leave you? And what we're seeing, in particular for growth capital, sometimes very candidly, we hear that like Lula is expensive money. And yes, it can be expensive money if you're looking to fund costs. And so I think very explicitly, Lula is aimed at growth businesses that are looking to accelerate, not businesses looking for survival. And so I think just understanding the types of funding that you're looking for as a business is very important to being able to achieve success in a business. So as you're thinking through growth capital, I think it's really important to understand who's growth capital for, especially different types of and costs related to growth capital. And we'll talk about costs a little bit now. But we're really looking at slightly more established businesses, often kind of profitable. So especially on a deal by deal basis, it needs to be profitable if you're going to fund it. And businesses looking to expand. Generally, growth capital is not a day-to-day kind of costs strategy. It's going to end up harming a business more than it's going to help. And that, responsible lending is something that we really think through quite a lot. And what can a business afford? Those are important kind of themes to us. Almost a third, but so a little more than a quarter of our businesses, and we see this number fluctuate between kind of 25 and 30% of our customers are accessing Lula's funding for expansion purposes. Some of the other purposes are for buying stock and inventory or funding equipment, which kind of speak to similar growth or expansion stories. And just to give a few examples of growth capital, or what should you be deploying growth capital for? And so some of the key things that we're looking for is entering a new market. So if you're a Cape Town-based business, for instance, and you're looking to grow into Gauteng or KZN, setting up new stores and new geographies, expanding your online marketplace, perhaps. These are good themes to look at business growth. Expanding operations, so upgrading, buying new equipment, or making sure that you can deliver higher volume orders, meet contract delivery, meet deadlines. So, increasing your capacity to deliver, launching new product lines. So I think the story that we're going to hear about Anthony's anti-corrosion is that, there's a great piece in there about, developing IP, coming up with a new product line that makes a business distinct and more competitive in the market than anyone else. And then, are there acquisition strategies that you're following? Are you looking to buy a competitor, expand into a new territory through an acquisition, but basically trying to increase your market share? And so these are kinds of themes that we tend to think through on growth capital front. And then something that, if you can keep it simple and think through strategy very, very simply, something kind of where a customer's at and the thinking around expansion. The absolute golden rule is there an ROI? And this is not something that's always that well thought through Some of the more established businesses, we think this through. Well, what we often see is that business owners, before they take capital, haven't really worked out the total cost of that capital. So everything that it might include, or the total cost of a deal. And so sometimes these calculations get a little too simple, or they don't happen at all. And so the one thing that we'd really emphasize and suggest to our customers or anybody looking for Lula funding or other capital out there is try and understand the total cost of that capital, what it's going to cost you to repay, maybe if you need insurance, costs of delays, like try and factor that in if you need to be buying stock from overseas, or there's potential delays in your own supply chain that might prolong how long you take to repay your capital. All those sorts of things are really worth thinking through, because ultimately you shouldn't be taking growth capital. You shouldn't be taking kind of on that debt unless the investment is creating value for your business, unless that there is profitability. So calculating your return on investment, making sure that there is profitability either in the deal or overall, and then working through your break-even point or break-even points. There might be scenarios that you need to think through in terms of a high road, middle road, low road. Just really thinking through, okay, where are my break-even points? What are my flags for saying this is worth it, or this is no longer worth it? Very important things to think through. And really, I think working out what you're going to, your net profit, and then that cost of investment, like really understanding what is the capital cost, what is the time involved, because that time side really drives a lot of your cost if you've got outstanding payments or debts that you need to service. Unpacking kind of supply chain impacts, really working your ROI. It sounds simple, but it's something that all too often doesn't happen enough before capital gets taken out. And so, yeah, really high level, the things that we'd suggest businesses look through if you're looking to grow. And so really, as the Chief Growth Officer at Lula, I feel like we're a business looking for growth, and that's one of the reasons why we can relate to our customers so often. We're looking to drive growth. But are you super clear about what your biggest growth opportunity is? Are you super clear on what it's going to cost you to chase that growth opportunity? What's it really worth? Is it value creating? And then if you don't have the funds on hand, being prepared, so getting funder ready, whether you're looking for equity or debt or some sort of mixture, whether it's from your family or from your own personal funding or funders like banks or Lula, being super clear on those break-even points, getting all your documentation ready, having a roadmap in terms of how you're going to pay back, and maybe think through how you save money, maximize your return, if there's early settlement options, that sort of thing. So these are the things that we think through. And with that said, I think I can say that as Lula, we're a funder. We want people to take out funding with us. More importantly, we really want them to pay it back. But I mean, let's hear from Marie-Louise, the MD at Anthony Anti-Corrosion. Marie-Louise, maybe you could share a little bit about your business. Hey. You are, the business, and then maybe tell us a little bit about your story.
Morning, David. Thomas. Hi, everybody. So yeah, we're Anthony Anti-Corrosion Coatings. It's the love of my life, and also the brains behind the outfit is Anthony. And then because I'm a woman, I'm in charge of admin. See? So yeah, I run the sales, the administration and everything, and make sure everything runs. So we specialize, we found a niche in the market about 5-6 years ago. When it comes to your vehicles, especially your 4x4s, your overlanding, we in South Africa, we love our adventures. So we realized that everybody looks at a vehicle and they look at the body. Oh, it looks beautiful. Yes, great stuff. And everybody forgets that the chassis is the basically the backbone of that vehicle. And if that is not in good repair and corrosion free, you take a risk. So we started treating vehicle chassis with a specialized product, lots of research, years of flirting, and we managed to get a product that we can actually, on our work, give a lifetime warranty, which is unheard of worldwide. And we grew this business. So we started it literally between 2 containers on the ground with one small little spray pot. That was it. And we started growing it from there. We registered the business into 2020 in COVID, because that's when you make your most important decisions, when the chips are down. So we registered the business, got our first official workshop, which we were fondly referred to as a hidden gem in the back streets of Parow, Cape Town. I didn't know whether I should laugh or cry. And we grew it from there. And
Sorry, folks, if you could just move on to
there we go.
mute.
There we go. I'm back on mute. So we've grown from a small little shop in Parow to a beautiful, beautiful shop in industrial area in Okavango Park now, where we have grown the business from being able to handle 3 vehicles a week, where I can now easily handle between 8 to 10 vehicles a week. And it's a complete new industry. And we've brought out DIY products. We've brought out, we are busy expanding into the other regions, training up applicators, and it is an incredible opportunity. We're very, very excited about that.
Brilliant. I think you're underselling it on the admin front. The business is often the tougher part. Like passion for product development and stuff can kind of sustain you. Like trying to grow and all the stress that comes with it is a different story. So how did you think through financing the growth? You're talking about new product development, product expansion, site expansion, increasing your capacity. How did you think through, like, where am I going to find the money to be able to do all these extra things and actually grow the business?
Well, we did a lot of research. I spoke to my own bank. Banks are difficult. Banks have got this check the boxes and run it through a computer, and you don't even. I know I've got a business banker. I have no idea what his name is. Not a cooking clue. So I started doing research, and on one of my feeds, go onto Google, check out funding, and Lula came up, and I went like, hello. Started investigating, liked what I saw, made the phone call, and then realized that with Lula it's different. With Lula, you sit down, you've got a account manager that mine is Mujib, and he absolutely, I can sit down with him and go, okay, let's talk through the plan. Because you've got a great idea, you can see how this can work, but you need that sounding board. Sorry, it's a little bit loud. I don't know if there's a lot of background noise here. Great stuff.
Perfect.
And then sit down with him, and I was able to run my ideas, use him as that sounding board, plan. Funding is so much easier. It's actually not, it's cheaper than the banks. The way you structure it, it's actually, in terms of your cash flow projection going forward, it is so much easier to handle a Lula fund than it is to handle your other fundings, because you know exactly what you're in for. It is so much easier to structure your cash flow projection based on the way you guys structure things. It is so much easier. It's so much easier to get that, not just the, okay, here's your financials, this is what you are available to. You've got that interaction where you can go, all right, but this is my long-term planning. And you can sit down and exchange ideas. And that was a very, very big yes for me in terms of Lula. And basically, Lula was what we used the funding from Lula to expand into a larger workshop. We literally built everything because there is no industry that can help us. It's everything is from scratch. Our first funding was, you know, in investing in lifts. It's a stupid thing, but when you're small, investing in 2-poster lifts is quite a thing. An industrial imported high pressure washer. It's like, okay, well, that's 100,000. You've got a small business. Where do you go big, plead and flirt for that? And that's how Lula, I mean, Lula has basically helped us fund the build of this entire the infrastructure in our business. The bulk stock to be able to enter the market with our DIY products. It's been a game changer. It's been an absolute game changer for us.
That's amazing to hear. Yeah, no, we always love to hear these kind of customer stories and hear about kind of the successes. Look,
Yeah.
not every business is successful. I mean, like, one of our missions at Lula is to help make more businesses successful, or at least improve the chances of business success. So I don't know if you've got any kind of advice for people that are maybe starting out that journey a little bit earlier, thinking through how we're going to grow. Yeah, I mean, what are some of the key lessons that you've learned along the way that you could share?
Along the way? Whoa. What's on your balance sheet and on your income statement is not a true reflection of your actual cash flow. Okay. Do not get blinded by what the paper says. It's not always the truth. Okay. Surround yourself with people that you can actually speak to. Surround yourself with your mentors. Surround yourself with people that can guide you. Surround yourself with people like Lula, that you don't just phone them because you need funding. You phone them because you've got a gedagte and you want to share it with somebody, and you want that feedback. You want that guidance, not necessarily financial guidance, but a sounding board. Somebody that can walk you through the processes. Surround yourself with people. Don't go this alone. It is hard out there. It's not easy to start a business, to start something that's new. Surround yourself with people that you can trust. Surround yourself with people that can move you forward. And remember, it's one day at a time. Nothing ever happens all at once. That's also a lie. So take it as it comes. Take it one thing at a time. We are here and this is now. Deal with what's in front of you. And don't get blinded by all the shiny around you. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to have a lot of opinions and ideas. Surround yourself with people that you can trust. And in that sense, Lula has become, for me, not just a trusted partner in finance, but a trusted partner in trust. I know I can share, and the feedback that I get is from a genuine personal point of view. It's a person. It's not a computer. You can exchange ideas. And something that I found incredible, I mean, you speaking about the ROI. Just recently, I got an email from Lula actually explaining very nicely how to do that calculation. It's something that no other finance institution has ever done. It's, you guys don't just fund, you don't just help grow, you also educate. And that is different. That is so, so different. And that's why I say surround yourself with trusted partners, Lula being a trusted partner. You educate, you teach, you help, you guide, you listen. You will put up your hand and go, nooit girl, I don't think this is such a good idea, you know? And that's what I appreciate. That's what I appreciate about my journey with Lula so far. And I'm planning my next already. I will give you guys a call soon.
We look forward to it. We'll try and beat you to the call. Marie-Louise, like really appreciate you sharing. I know it's never comfortable to kind of come on and share with a group of people, but hopefully there's a couple of other business owners on this call that kind of thinking through how they're going to grow and how they're going to expand and you know, go on that journey and continue on that journey like that you've discussed a little bit. So thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.